Sardinia looks like the easiest family vacation in Europe. Turquoise water, mellow island vibes, short flights from a lot of Europe. But there are 7 Sardinia travel mistakes I see families make over and over, and a few of them we made ourselves. If this video saves your family even one ruined afternoon, I think it's worth it. Alright, the first one is not renting a car. And I know what a lot of you are thinking. If you're staying close to one town, maybe you can skip it. But honestly, Sardinia just isn't built for a no-car trip, especially with kids. Public transportation between towns is limited, and a lot of the best beaches and viewpoints aren't walkable from anywhere you'd actually be staying. Now, here's something that catches a lot of travelers off guard. Rental cars in Sardinia, like most of Italy, default to manual transmission. If your family wants an automatic, you have to specifically request it, and you'll typically pay more for it. So if nobody driving knows how to handle a stick shift, book that ahead of time and book it on purpose, not as an afterthought at the counter. Renting early, especially in peak summer months, also tends to be a lot cheaper than booking last minute, since cars do sell out at the smaller airports. Another tip is to make sure you book a smaller car. In the United States, we like our bigger cars. However, roads in Europe are smaller and the parking spots tend to be tighter. We rented a car for our entire week, and it's genuinely what let us string together extra stops, like Castel Sardo and a beach called Spiaggia Licosi on our way between towns. Without our own car, none of that would have happened. I'd put this one at 9 out of 10 in terms of how much it can limit your trip. Why? Because without a car, you're basically locked into a tiny radius for your entire stay. And that gets old fast, especially with kids. Next up is booking a boat excursion without checking what's actually included. Sardinia's coastline is full of these boat trips out to spots like the Maddalena Archipelago, and the photos look incredible. But here's the catch. Some of these excursions don't actually stop at a beach. You stay on the boat, you see the water from a distance, and that's pretty much it. We learned this one the hard way. We booked an excursion expecting a beach stop, and it just didn't happen. With 2 kids who were ready to jump in the water the whole ride, that was a rough one. And with kids, disappointment like that hits differently because there's no redoing the day once you're back on dry land. Now, we did snorkel a little bit on the boat, and the boat itself was a lot of fun, but we were disappointed because that is not what we expected. So before you book, actually read through the full itinerary or just ask the operator directly whether there's a beach stop included. I made a full review video breaking down exactly what we did on our boat excursion. I'd give this one a 6 out of 10. It's not going to wreck your whole trip, but it can absolutely wreck an afternoon you are genuinely looking forward to. If you're finding this useful so far, go ahead and hit that like button. It really does help more traveling families find this video before their own trip. Number 3, and this is the one that actually cost us money: parking the wrong way. Most of Sardinia runs on an app called EasyPark for paid parking, and a lot of spots just don't have obvious signage telling you that's how it works, but some did have good signage and we were able to figure it out. Now, we were at a beach called Zia Colomba and we didn't really see where to park, so we kind of risked it and we got a ticket. I ended up spending part of an afternoon at the post office in Santa Teresa trying to sort it out, with almost no English between me and the staff there. However, they were genuinely kind about it, but it was definitely not how I wanted to spend an afternoon of my vacation. And when you're already budgeting for flights, hotels, and excursion for a family of 4, an unexpected ticket and an afternoon lost at the post office is the last thing you want eating into your trip. And it's not a one-off thing. They patrol constantly. We heard the same story from other travelers who parked too close to the castle in Castel Sardo and got ticketed there too. As a general rule, blue lines usually mean paid parking, and in Castelsardo specifically, white lines mean it's free. One tip that actually worked well for us: in Alghero, park in the lot by the Ferris wheel because it's EasyPark enabled and it's walking distance to the old town, the beach, the marina, and so you're not hauling kids and beach bags very far. One more thing worth knowing if you're driving into a historic center like Alghero's Old Town. Some of these areas have a restricted traffic zone watched by cameras, so driving in without authorization can get you a fine that shows up by mail months later. Worth checking the signs before you drive in, not after. I'm giving this one an 8 out of 10. Why? Because it's such an easy mistake to make, and it costs you both real money and real time you'd rather spend on the beach. Number 4 is not booking beach access early enough, and also not getting there early for parking once you do have a reservation. Some of the most beautiful beaches in Sardinia, places like La Pelosa, Rina Bianca, and Neptune's Grotto, actually require reservations now, because they cap the number of daily visitors to protect the beach and the ecosystem around it. For La Pelosa specifically, you need to book at least 48 hours in advance. And at beaches like Rina Bianca and La Pelosa, there's usually a small entrance fee, usually around 350 euros per person, and you actually can't put a regular towel down on the sand. That's intentional. It's meant to keep sand from getting trapped in the fabric and carried off the beach. So bring a beach mat instead, which you can find almost anywhere for just a few euros. Now, because some of these beaches are protecting a genuinely fragile ecosystem, a lot of them also ask visitors to skip regular sunscreen in favor of something reef safe. And honestly, as a physician, this is one I take seriously anyways, because plenty of regular sunscreens aren't great for sensitive kids' skin in the first place. Kids' skin burns faster than ours does, so even outside of these protected beaches, I'd rather reach for something gentler regardless of what the local rules require. For family and reef-safe sunscreen, our family uses Kind Soul. It's protective for our skin, including the kids, and it's reef-safe as well. I'll drop the link in the description if you want to grab some before your trip. I'd rate this mistake 9 out of 10. Showing up without a reservation at a place like La Pelosa can mean you just get turned away at the entrance, no exceptions. Number 5. Trying to cover too much of the island. Sardinia is genuinely big, way bigger than it looks on a map, and bouncing all over it with kids in the car is exhausting for everybody, not just them. We stuck to the northwest. We landed in Olbia, stayed in Santa Teresa Gallura for 4 nights, then drove towards Alghero, making stops at Castelsardo and Spiaggia Licosi along the way, and flew out of Alghero at the end. That route made sense with our flights, and it let us actually settle into each spot instead of constantly packing and unpacking the car. If you only got about 1 week like we did, pick one region and stay there. If you got 2 to 3 weeks, you can realistically get through most of the island without it feeling rushed. I'd put this one at 7 out of 10. It's not dangerous and it's not expensive, but it's the difference between a relaxing trip and a trip where everybody's cranky by day 3. By the way, if you're curious about where we ate along that route, I actually have a separate video on an incredible agriturismo restaurant called Samandra, and it actually ties directly into mistake number 6, so keep that in mind. Number 6. Not planning around how late dinner actually happens in Sardinia. A lot of restaurants need reservations ahead of time, and dinner starts later than a lot of visitors expect. At Samandra, that agriturismo place I just mentioned, the earliest dinner seating was at 7:30 p.m. If you're traveling with young kids, that timing can be rough because you might end up eating your biggest meal of the day right around bedtime. What worked better for us was treating lunch as our main meal and keeping dinner lighter unless your kids happen to run on a later schedule. It also means planning your toddler or preschooler's nap time around a later evening instead of an early one, which takes a little getting used to. I'd give this one a 6 out of 10. It's not going to ruin your trip, but it can absolutely make for some overtired, hangry kids at dinner table, and that is not pleasant. And the last one, number 7, assuming you'll need cash. Sardinia leans heavily cashless. We tried paying with cash at a few different places, and more than once they told us straight up that they didn't have enough small bills to break what we had and that they genuinely prefer card or Apple Pay anyway. So bring a travel card with no foreign transaction fees and don't bother loading up on a bunch of cash before you even leave home. It also just speeds up the checkout line, which matters more than you think when you've got 2 kids melting down behind you in the heat. I'd rate this one 4 out of 10. It's more of an annoyance than a disaster, but it's such an easy thing to fix before your trip even starts. So those are the 7 Sardinia travel mistakes I genuinely tell any family to watch out for, especially the parking one, because that's the one that actually costs us time and money. And if you want to see exactly where we ate that almost messed with our kids' bedtime meal, I made a full video on that incredible agriturismo place, Samandra, and you can check it out by clicking right in here. If you appreciate this kind of practical family travel advice, go ahead and gently tap that like button one more time, and I'll see you in the next one.